Hey everyone, welcome back to Mindful English. I'm Sera, and I'm sitting here with Liam.
Hey everyone, good to be here.
You know, Liam, looking at the news lately or just talking to friends, it feels like there's a lot of heaviness in the air right now. It seems like everyone is dealing with something difficult.
It really does. And when you are in the middle of a heavy season, standard advice often feels completely useless.
So today, we want to talk about how to actually navigate those moments when you are going through a rough patch. And I want to make this concrete because a few years ago, I went through a season that completely broke me down.
I remember that time. Your career took a massive, unexpected hit, and everything just felt chaotic. What was that actually like for you on the inside?
It was terrifying. I felt like I was drowning, just trying to keep my head above water. And the hardest part was the advice people gave me. Well-meaning friends would pat my shoulder and say, "Just hang in there," or, "Hey, keep your chin up."
Right, the classic toxic positivity. People always want you to immediately look on the bright side.
And here's what I learned. Sometimes a situation just stinks, and you shouldn't be forced to smile through it. So today, I'm going to tell you what actually helped me survive that season, and more importantly, the language to talk about it. Because if you're in the dark right now, you deserve real tools, not empty platitudes. At first, I thought I just had to tough it out all by myself. I thought if I could just push through the exhaustion, I could fix everything overnight.
Tough it out. To endure something difficult without complaining or asking for help. But trying to tough it out alone is a one-way ticket to burnout. You can't outwork a crisis.
You really can't. And the worst part was, I was pretending everything was fine. When people asked how I was doing, I would just say, "I'm fine," and change the subject. I was keeping it all bottled up inside, and that only made the pressure worse.
You were trying to keep your head above water, but you were exhausted from treading water alone.
Exactly. I finally realized that I couldn't stop the rain. I just had to build a shelter and weather the storm. I stopped trying to control the uncontrollable, and I decided to just ride it out.
Weather the storm. That is a massive mental shift. You stopped fighting the reality of the situation. How did you actually get through the days once you stopped fighting?
I shrank my timeline. When the future is too scary to look at, you have to take it one day at a time. I stopped worrying about next year, next month, even next week. I just focused on surviving Tuesday.
Take it one day at a time. The ultimate antidote to anxiety. It makes the burden small enough to carry.
Some days, it was even smaller than that. Sometimes, I had to take it 1 hour at a time. I just need to get through this meeting. I just need to make it to lunch. Breaking it down into tiny, manageable pieces. And more importantly, I finally learned to cut myself some slack. I stopped judging myself for being tired or sad, and I started treating myself with the same gentleness I would show a best friend.
Cut yourself some slack. To loosen the rope. Stop judging yourself for not being perfect. That's profound kindness. What did that actually look like in practice?
It meant letting myself cry without feeling weak. It meant ordering takeout instead of cooking without feeling lazy. It meant saying, "I can't make it tonight," to social events without feeling guilty. I gave myself permission to just be human.
And you also stopped isolating yourself. I remember you finally started calling us.
I did. And that was hard, Liam. I really struggled with that. I felt like I was burdening people with my problems. But I realized there is no shame in asking for help. I had to lean on my support system.
Lean on. It's a physical metaphor. When your legs are too weak to stand, you lean on a wall or a person to hold you up. And I remember those conversations. You weren't asking us to fix anything. You just needed to talk.
Exactly. Talking to you and my other friends helped me step back and keep things in perspective. You reminded me that my career wasn't my entire identity, that I was still me, even without that job title.
Keep things in perspective to maintain a balanced, realistic view of a situation. And once you have that perspective, you naturally start to make the best of it. You don't ignore the pain, but you stop letting it consume you.
Make the best of it. To find whatever good you can in a bad situation. And slowly, very slowly, I was able to take a quiet moment and count my blessings. I still had my health, my friends, and my resilience. The fundamentals were still there.
Count your blessings. To consciously think about the good things in your life, especially during hard times.
And because of that, I eventually found a silver lining in the whole mess. Losing that job forced me to figure out what I actually wanted to do with my life. It pushed me toward this work, which I love so much more.
A silver lining. A small positive aspect in an otherwise negative situation. And look where you are now. You started to bounce back.
I did. It took months, but one morning I woke up and realized I could finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. The heaviness was lifting. I knew I was going to pull through.
Pull through. To survive a difficult or dangerous situation. The light at the end of the tunnel. When you can finally see that the end of the difficulty is in sight.
And that is the absolute core takeaway for everyone listening today. Resilience isn't about never falling down. It isn't about faking a smile or being a superhero. True resilience is pacing yourself, giving yourself grace, and accepting help.
You don't have to fix it today. You just have to survive it today.
If you are in the dark right now, just endure. Keep repeating the most comforting truth in the world. This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. The reminder that no situation, good or bad, is permanent.
And while you wait for it to pass, you weather the storm. You take it one day at a time, you cut yourself some slack, you lean on the people who love you, and you look for whatever small light you can find.
Those aren't just phrases. They're survival tools.
Let's look at the phrases that came up naturally in that story. Liam, which ones felt the most important?
The one that really anchors this whole concept for me is weather the storm.
When a literal storm hits your house, you don't run outside and try to punch the wind. You go inside, you lock the doors, and you wait. If your company or your family is going through chaos, it is incredibly comforting to tell yourself, I can't fix the wind, but I can weather the storm. You might say to a friend, the company is going through layoffs, but we just have to weather the storm together.
And to survive it, you have to take it one day at a time.
When you look at a massive problem, your brain panics. But if you tell yourself, I don't know how I'll finish this year, but I'm just taking it one day at a time, you instantly bring your focus back to the present moment. In recovery programs, people often say, I'm not thinking about staying sober for the rest of my life. I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Another phrase that completely changed your mental health was, cut yourself some slack.
We are our own worst critics. If a coworker is exhausted, you can gently tell them, you've been working so hard. Cut yourself some slack and go home early. Or you can say it to yourself in the mirror. I made a mistake, but I'm going to cut myself some slack. I'm doing my best.
And when you are exhausted, you need to lean on your support system.
You can say to someone, I know you're grieving right now. Please lean on me for whatever you need. Or you can reach out yourself. I'm really struggling this week. Can I lean on you for some support? It's a beautiful, honest way to ask for help.
We also talked about keeping things in perspective.
Yes. When you're in crisis mode, everything feels catastrophic. But a friend can help you keep things in perspective by saying, I know this feels terrible right now, but let's keep things in perspective. You still have your health, and you have people who love you.
And finally, the ultimate symbol of hope, the light at the end of the tunnel.
When you are in a dark tunnel, every step feels pointless until you see that tiny speck of light. It's been a brutal semester, but graduation is the light at the end of the tunnel. Or, these medical treatments are exhausting, but full recovery is the light at the end of the tunnel.
So we have weather the storm, take it one day at a time, cut yourself some slack, lean on, keep things in perspective, and the light at the end of the tunnel.
And if you want more expressions for talking about difficult times, resilience, and healing, check the pinned comment below. Think about those phrases today. Do you need to weather the storm, or maybe just take it one day at a time? Do you need to cut yourself some slack, or lean on a friend while you wait for the light at the end of the tunnel?
And then share with us in the comments, who is the person you usually lean on during hard times? Let's celebrate those support systems today.
Because we all need that reminder that we're not alone. And if this conversation gave you even a little bit of comfort, if it reminded you that you're stronger than you think, share it with someone who might be going through a rough patch right now.
They might need to hear that this too shall pass.
You are not alone. You do not have to carry it all by yourself. And you are going to pull through.
Take care of yourselves, everyone. Be gentle with yourself this week.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.